What is up, everyone? I'm Tyler Shelton. This is Coffee with a Beauty Reviewer. I'm your friendly neighborhood coffee snob. And today, folks, is my review for the pilot episode of Disney Plus's Moon Knight. So, with introductions out of the way, let's get started with today's video. So this is Moon Knight, and he is the newest addition within the MC multiverse. And more importantly is that it's being played by one of my favorite actors working today, which is Oscar Isaac. And we all know who he is. He's the guy that played Apocalypse, and he also played Poe Dameron from Star Wars. So he's definitely no stranger to geekdom, nerd culture characters. So I'm just really happy that they brought him into the MCU. More importantly is that he's playing a character that is practically just a Batman of Marvel. And that's just the one thing that just makes me more excited for this whole series. But without a doubt, I think this is definitely the strongest pilot out of any other Disney Plus TV show up to this day. I feel like that this is going into a really interesting segment in the entire MCU, because it feels like that this is just kind of like its own self-contained universe. I mean, we all know that he's within the MCU, but there's actually been not a single reference to the MCU, and I think that was just a nice, fresh scent of air in this TV show, is that they didn't have to rely so heavily in letting you know that this is in the MCU. But more importantly is that Oscar Isaac, he plays the role as Mark Spector, and he also plays another character named Steven. And so what Moon Knight is he's a superhero that he's practically the avatar of the Egyptian god of the moon. So like Moon Knight is the avatar, and Khonshu is actually the god of the moon back from ancient Egypt times. So like it feels like that they're now starting to kind of like go more into kind of like that whole demigods situation, like what they've done with Loki and Thor. So like we already got to see kind of like some stuff that is coming from Norse mythology, but now we're going into Egyptian mythology. And definitely in the fourth Thor movie, we are actually getting some Greek mythology into the mix. So I'm just really liking that we're kind of like seeing all these different variations of different mythologies in actual human history. And more importantly is that like I'm definitely excited to see some of the Greek mythology characters that is coming into Thor 4, which is like Russell Crowe playing Zeus. That's going to be interesting. But no, I'm not going to go down that rabbit trail, but all I have to say is that this one is something very interesting. This one has a very unique art style, especially when it comes down to kind of like personalities, mirrors. So I just really enjoyed it that they just kind of fool with your eye vision, is that like you think you're actually seeing what you're seeing, or you could be just looking at a reflection. And that is something very interesting, because I think that is just supposed to be kind of like the symbolism of Moon Knight himself, because at this point you really don't know what could eventually be real or something of a mirrored vision of Moon Knight. So I just really loved that aspect, that you are just getting a lot of these really cool mirror shots. Like you're seeing like a puddle and you're like, oh, okay. Oh, whoa, the foot is up there. Or there's also like multiple mirrors where you're just kind of seeing like these different personality traits of Mark Spector. But all around it, in all the camera work, I would have to say is that this is the most creative works of camera work I've ever seen in the MCU. But every time when he blacks out, he's all like, he comes back to reality, and then all of a sudden you see dead bodies all over him, and he's like, what did I just do? It's just a very unique art form, especially when it comes down to kind of like the editing. Overall, I think this is just a real solid pilot. They showcase incredible editing, sound editing, the acting by Oscar Isaac and even Ethan Hawke. And I'm just very interested in the whole intrigue, the mystery, just kind of like this whole, is it real or is it not? I just really love that element. And more importantly is that I really do think that Ethan Hawke is going to be a really great character within this show. You get to see a little bit of what he's about. It looks like that he's kind of like this evangelist, cult-like leader. But it looks like he is the avatar of another Egyptian god, which is supposed to be like this enemy to the Khonshu character of Moon Knight. So it's very interesting to see how this dynamic is going to go between Ethan Hawke and Oscar Isaac with their characters. But I just really enjoy what they did with this show, is that they just laid down the groundworks, they laid down the lore, they laid down everything for us to know who Mark Spector is. And I think they did a great job with that. But overall, I really enjoyed this pilot of Moon Knight. They did a really great job at story-wise, intrigue, mystery, the action. Overall, this is just like the best pilot out of all the Disney Plus shows. And I would have to say is that this is a good, solid 9 out of 10 episode. And I'm really hoping that they stay consistent and get better. So that was my review for Moon Knight episode 1. And I'm not gonna give you a review for each episode. I'm probably just gonna start with this one, and I'm just gonna give you another review that is about the entire show. So yeah, I'm just very excited for this show, and I'm just really hoping that they're gonna do this one very well, because the previous ones, good beginnings, okay filler stuff in the middle, either good or bad endings, but overall I'm really liking what I'm seeing with Moon Knight. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching my video. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe to my channel, as it really helps me out. And also, if there's anything you want me to mention or review, leave it down the comment section down below. And also press that like button. Don't press the dislike button, that's a bad one. Anyways, keep on drinking coffee, and I will see you guys next time.